Hello. Hey, thank you all for coming out here tonight to the Stand Store out in Soho. Appreciate you guys' support. I know you didn't come out here to see me or hear me, so real quick, let me introduce the two guys you did come out for. Russ Bankston, OG in the game. I mean, his sneaker game, honestly, he's one of the original guys. He was at Slam. He was the editor of Slam magazine way back in the day and really laid the roots for what is there now. So if you follow him on the gram, there would be no Slam. So there would be no chronicle of sneakers from the late 90s, early 2000s without this man. So when we talk about throwbacks, because this man chronicled the shit back then. Smart. And honestly, now we're just really honored to have Russ here today, man. He's out here, still makes a big difference in the game. And someone like Zoe, you know, they kind of look at him and like they knows. You go look at the sneakers right now and be like, oh shit. And this man needs no introduction, honestly, but you know, 30 teams with 29 teams made a mistake this summer. And it's the Knicks' blessing.
Thank you.
It's the Knicks' blessing that they have him out here, and it's our blessing that we have him here tonight. And I'm going to let these two guys talk. And after they talk, we'll get a few autographs, a couple pictures, and I just hope everyone enjoys.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And thank you.
Oh, man, appreciate you guys all coming out.
I wanted to, before we even get into the sneaker stuff, I wanted to talk about the moment you basically stopped being a two-way player. And I think you know what I'm going to say. Third quarter, Atlanta Hawks. You know, what do you think when you see that lane in front of you?
Oh, man, I remember I caught the ball over. I was like, it's going to be contact. I'm going to try to put this thing down. That's all I was able to do. It was a really exciting play. That was like my first time hearing the Garden go crazy. So that was a hell of an experience.
And you brought, I mean, Nate Robinson came out onto the court. Fellow Seattle guy, obviously a guy who's known to dunk a little bit. I mean, did that hype you up like?
That was great because, you know, me being from Seattle, Nate's a guy that, you know, is big in basketball, and all of us that are from that area are a very close, tight-knit group. So, you know, for me to be able to share that moment with him was dope, knowing he was there on the sideline and, you know, him being a former Knick.
Did that game even like kind of change your reception in New York? You feel like that was all of a sudden everyone knew who you were?
Yeah, I definitely think I would go crazy, and I think it was kind of everything that led up to that point too. The way I was playing in preseason, I had a lot of buzz, and I think people were waiting to see what I was going to do on opening night in a real game that counted. And I had a great game, and then the dunk kind of just sealed it on top of everything.
And I'm sure, I'm sure a lot of people here know, and some people know, but you were on the cover of the New York Times Sunday magazine when you were, what, 12?
I was like 12 years old, yeah, 13.
I mean, you know, you got teammates still waiting to be on magazine covers. You've lived that already. Do you have people bring that to games? Have you had to sign any of those yet?
I have had to sign some of them. I also see people all the time that come up to me just in the street saying that they read the article, read the story about me. And it's so cool that I'm here in New York. It's crazy.
To basketball before sneakers, or were you into sneakers and then basketball?
I think it was like a combination of both. I remember growing up when I was younger, when I was 8 years old, I was watching NBA games and I was watching the players to see what they had on their feet, and I wanted to be like them. So I remember I tried to go to this, when I started my first game, I remember my mom let me go to the store and pick out a pair of shoes, and then from there on, my fascination became with sneakers and playing basketball on the court in them. So everything I got, I played in. I wasn't one of the guy that got them and stocked them. I was excited to wear them on the court and play in them.
I was going to say, in that Time story, there's a shot of you lacing up a pair of black and red Jordan 11s.
Yeah. That's exactly what those are from, so you know what's up. They went back when they were doing those packs from back in the day, so that's what that was from. And also, if you look at the New York Times article, there's a picture of me in our doorway where the opening closet is, and opening it and all my shoes falling out. You can see all the different things. Adidas Celtos to the first Nike Hyper Dunks to different Jordans and stuff like that. So it started from a young age, and it just continued to grow. And it's something that's, I think, will always be a part of me.
You were in Hyper Dunks on that cover, I think. Was that like?
I was.
Did they shoot that right after like a practice or before or whatever, or did you like select what you were going to wear for that?
I think that was right after it was right after practice. That was our team shoe in like I think like early middle school, I believe. So yeah, that was the shoe.
I mean, did you really want to wear the Jordans for that, basically?
I don't know. I wore something different for usually every game, and I just happened to be for that article, for that picture I had them on. But if you look actually throughout the pages,
And Jennings was already like sending you Under Armours.
yeah, he was a guy that I had a great relationship with growing up, and I knew his brother Terrence from playing against him when he was in California, and you know, Brandon was going on his different path of going overseas, and he had an Under Armour deal, and you know, he was a guy that tried to just look out for me and wanted to see me do well, and you know, he sent me some stuff as well.
And it's crazy because you ended up going to Arizona, and for anyone who knows, like Arizona was the sneaker school from when, you know, you were a kid. You know,
before that were playing and you know, rocking different kicks and stuff like that, and it was, you know, multiple guys that were bringing out different heat every night. And then even to like right before me when it was Nick Johnson and that crew and Solomon Hill, all those guys were playing in different stuff, you know. And then it was Stanley Johnson, who's one of my good friends, Deronde Hollis Jefferson, and I was coming into the new wave, and I wanted to keep that going. So I was constantly lacing up something different on my feet every night.
and obviously, like you had a lot of your own stuff at that point. You said earlier, like you'd done like your Twitter account, like with sneakers and like getting to know people in that community. Did you dig in the equipment room? Was there still stuff from like the year before or whatever? Did you pick things up when you got there?
I did. There was definitely a few leftover pairs, some throwback Arizona stuff that I got from our equipment manager, and then I kind of incorporated that into my own collection and kind of spread it out throughout the season and tried to bring different stuff.
Yeah, I saw like you broke out. What was it? You had Zoom Generations. You had a bunch of.
I was more of everything that looked good that I thought I could bring out on the court and put on my feet as long as it, you know, looked all right. I was willing to play in it, at least try it for a half, see how it was gonna go. And you know, there was times where I'd switch at halftime and do different things. So sneakers just been a part of me growing up through the game, and I think it'll always be a part of me.
And you, I mean, you're fortunate to join the NBA at a time when all those rules got lifted,
Right.
and you can wear anything you want. So, you know, are you? I read that you have like the vault. You know, you have the stuff you wear. Stuff.
I stayed in the house and I had a garage at school, and basically it was nothing. It was a garage, but it was full of shoes, sneaker boxes in there, and shoes all laid out. And my teammates joked around. They called it the vault. So like Kobe Simmons was one of my teammates, and he would come in there and he would take stuff and like, hey, I'm gonna go take a trip to the vault today. I'm gonna go see what's in there, and then take something, and he would try to go play in it, stuff like that. So that was that's where that came from.
Do you still have stuff in there, or stuff put away that you're waiting to? Like,
I do have
bring
stuff
out?
that's put away. I do have, that I'm waiting to bring out at a certain time. I like to spread it out and you know, bring out something really throwback after a while, and then you know, playing some stuff, and then bring something out that's a splash. So I've been doing that my whole life. I was playing in Generations when nobody was really, like, those were kind of dead, and nobody was really thinking about them at the time. And then now they've resurfaced and retros, so now they're kind of getting more popular again.
Yeah, do you still have stuff tucked away like that you're waiting, you know, to wear before they come back or whatever? Like,
Yeah,
you need
definitely.
to get to soon.
Absolutely. Definitely through this upcoming part of the season, you'll see some new stuff.
Are you going after PJ Tucker?
Nah, I can't. I have a lot of in a different category, and, you know, and he's spending on a lot of stuff too.
Are you? I mean, is there a shoe you feel the most comfortable in, or are you? You know, did you get used to playing
I'm
just
not a
about
guy
anything?
I'm just so used to anything. It's more like it's not based on how it always feels, but just the variety. Something new always makes me feel good. So I was one of those guys that for each tournament I had to get a pair of sneakers. So that was one of the things I look forward to.
Did you break stuff out again? Like after you wore the Zoom Generations, like would you wear those in another game, or is that like dead and pass them on to someone else?
Maybe down the road. Maybe I brought something out and I didn't like how it felt in the first half, and then I want to revert something that I know I felt good in or played well in. I've done that a few times.
How many pairs would you say you're up to right now?
Over 300 something plus.
And you've been obviously buying a lot of stuff, but I hear you like would actually trade stuff too.
Yeah, I did some stuff with trading sneakers and different things that I wanted in return.
I mean, I think you're going to get a lot more offers now. You know, you're in New York. Obviously, like you're gonna get hit up a lot in DMs, I think.
Yeah, I think
What size are you?
my size. But, definitely, I know you got some stuff too. So check out
My shoes are too small for you.
Circus, so that was kind of more the primary issue. But when I was younger, actually, growing up through my grade school days, my program was Adidas, so that was pretty much what I wore all the way through up until I got to about high school.
So we're gonna see you in some different stuff now, though, because you're officially
not.
not.
Free agent, so I'm out here rocking everything. So you'll see a little bit of everything out there.
I was gonna ask about. You talked about like seeing what people wear on the court, and I think like, in that time, in the past, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years, like there's been a lot of attention now of what guys wear to games and stuff. Do you feel like there's been a shift that way?
I think so. I think fashion is becoming a part of the culture of the game of basketball, as it is in sports, everywhere. So I think as well as what they're watching from what they're wearing on the court, on the field, it's the same as when arriving to the game or leaving the game and what they're wearing.
Have you thought about that a lot more since joining the NBA?
No, I haven't thought about it. I'm just kind of be true to who I am and go with my style and different things. So I don't try to go out of my way, but I stick to what I like.
What do you like?
A lot of different things. I would say I'm pretty casual, but I don't do anything too out the extraordinary or flamboyant. But I put together some nice fits.
Who's the most flamboyant guy on your team?
KP for sure.
No one else is even close.
I say probably Courtney Lee is probably a close second, but KP, he does it with the suits and stuff.
I was gonna say, what's the craziest thing you've seen him wear? I mean, it's only been like a month so far, but
man, he hasn't been playing, so he's been coming in a different suit every single night. But he's had about two suits that he wore that were colorful he was really doing something wild.
Something that you're not quite ready to.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go there yet. I wouldn't think that.
Have you done? I mean, obviously.
I've been so busy. I'm focused on trying to perfect my craft and be a great basketball player. But that's something I've enjoyed. I've gotten to do a little bit here. I'm sure I'll embrace it more in some time when I get some more free time. But I know that's one of the best parts of being in New York City, and I embrace that part.
What were you most looking forward to besides getting out on the court, obviously? But like, was there anything about New York you were really looking forward to?
Just the culture of New York City, their love for the game of basketball, and how that translates to being able to relate to the fans. And I think the type of person I am, I think I fit well in this city, and I'm very excited to be here. And I think I've gotten off to a great start, and I think it'll only get better.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you're not going to Westchester unless you're going home or going to practice. I mean, I think you got the whole year. How?
Mine, and I felt that I belonged. And I had an irrational confidence and belief in myself. I think I played that way, and I think it, I showed that it's okay to believe that way sometimes in yourself. And when your work ethic and your preparation matches what you're trying to do, you give yourself a good chance to go out there and do well. I think that's what I did for myself so far.
I saw after one of these games, KD had some quotes about you, and so you linked up with those guys when they were still the Supersonics.
When he was in Oklahoma City. I happen to be from Seattle. That's my hometown. I was from born and raised. And I lived in Oklahoma City for some short time, and that was when it happened to be when Kevin was playing in Oklahoma City as well. And I was one of the top players in the country in high school. And he had heard about me, obviously, about being one of the top players in the country and being in the area. So, and teach me things and be able to be around them, go work out with them, hang out with them. And then we closely just built a strong brother bond relationship, and it's continued on all the way through. And he's watched me kind of grow up through states, and kind of to where I am now.
And you ended up playing at Montrose Christian too.
I did. I played my junior year at Montrose Christian. It happened to be where he went to school for a year as well. So there was no relation in me going there because of that, but it was coincidental, just like me being in Oklahoma City with him.
Did you play him one-on-one back then?
Yeah, we had some, not one-on-one. We had some battles of playing 2-on-2 and 3-on-3 with guys at the facility and stuff like that. That was good.
When was the first time you actually played against NBA level guys?
When I was younger in high school, there was Jamal and Isaiah Thomas and all those guys, Brandon Roy, all those guys come back in the summer. And they're such great role models and such great guys within the community. They try to always get the young youth together and help for the upcoming future. And so they're always around. and in the summertime trying to teach us things and allowing us to play with them.
It's crazy. I mean, I feel like that whole Seattle community is so tight-knit, and like, you know, Jamal's summer games and stuff, and like the fact that he's still playing at such a high level.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, you know, he's kind of an icon to the area because of how much he does in the community. And, you know, obviously with them not having a team, his pro-am is what people look forward to in the summer, and bringing basketball to Seattle. I think he does a great job of that. And then he's just been an inspiration for all of us and looked out for all of us and wanted to see all of the young guys do well that have been coming up. From Zach Levine and me playing together when we were young guys growing up in grade school. And, you know, he was just setting the tone for the next generation to come through, and he continues to do that.
What's that like playing in that, or being at that Jamal Crawford, like the Pro-Am, the Seattle Pro-Am?
Oh, it's a great environment, you know, with people green. So many guys that come through he brings, and you know, he does a special guests that come by, you know, every once so often. So it's exciting for the city to have.
And that Arizona family's got to be pretty tight-knit too.
Very tight. To Jason Terry, to Gilbert Arenas, to Richard Jefferson, to all, you know, all the guys, Luke Walton, Judd Bush, who was actually on the coaching staff of the Arizona Wildcat. So we have deep ties, and we're all very close together.
I was going to say, is that the big connection with the Knicks, is having Judd as your assistant?
I mean, he's a great guy, you know. He definitely wears his pride for Arizona a lot.
So what, you know, I think you did surprise a lot of people, obviously, to some degree, you know. But what's the next thing for you? I mean, where do you see that next step going?
I don't know. I think that just continue to improve and continue to learn. And I know this is the beginning, and I've gotten off to a good start. And this is all kind of off the strength of my ability and being able to figure things out. But I figure once I continue to learn the game more, this is all a process, and I'm only going to continue to get better. Each day is allowing me to learn more and more, continue to improve.
And you have that second half of the season coming. Kristaps is going to be out of the suits and into the uniform.
Not know. It would be great to be able to throw him the ball.
Yeah, you know he's sprinting.
What's it been like? What's it been like playing under Coach Fitz?
Oh, it's been great. Seth's a good guy. Generally wants to see you do the best, and you know, a guy that's never going to take your confidence, only going to try to give you confidence. He's going to believe in you, and you know, he's going to, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, he's going to give you a platform to go out there and show yourself.
So since you are still a sneaker free agent, I mean, I do see you're in Adidas tonight.
I'm actually in the.
I was close. Don't mind me. I'm just the expert. Have you actually bought a bunch of stuff since you've been here, or did you just move all your stuff from Arizona to New York?
I've gotten a little bit of stuff. I've had product from the company sent to me and stuff like that. As you guys can see, I just went and had a big Adidas thing. So shout out to them.
What are you looking forward to playing in this year?
I
know you want to
I
keep
just got a few
something.
pairs of the Hardens, so I'm definitely excited to try to bring some of those out, some of the new BYW bounces and boosts and stuff. And then, you know, I'm obviously, you guys have seen, I've worn different Kobe's, different Bronze, KD's on court, you know, and then my teammate Kevin Knox has been pushing for one. So we'll see.
I was going to say, I mean, we're at an interesting time, too. I mean, you mentioned the fact, you know, are you just going to try a bunch of different things?
I think so. You know, obviously I've stuck to more of what was comfortable for me right now, and that's been in the two brands, Nike and Adidas. But obviously I'm open to trying new things and seeing how it is, and I think we'll take it from there.
Would you go back to wearing LeBrons to play LeBron?
Nah, I can't wear LeBrons when I'm playing LeBron. But I don't wear the opposing guy's shoe when we play. That's one thing I don't do.
Oh, you're safe with Kobe's then?
Yeah, he's for right now. So that's one of the things I do.
Okay. But would you wear LeBrons in the league?
Yeah. I've worn a few
Sprites.
pairs. I've had a few pairs that I've bought on floor this year.
Okay. So did you bring enough with you for the whole?
No, I think I'm a fan of all the shoes that mean something. So whether it's all-star colorways or specific colorways that have a meaning behind them, or they have a theme, all those things are great to me.
Do you double up on stuff?
I do. I definitely have a pair of double ups on some stuff. Definitely things I want to rock, or maybe it's something I have and I've played in, and it's older and it's maybe getting ready to explode, and now I need another pair. So.
What was do you remember, like, was there one specific pair that really was the first pair for you where I was like, oh, I gotta get those?
Actually, one of my first pair of sneakers that I really wanted, I was a huge Tracy McGrady fan, and I wanted the T-Mac ones. They were Adidas. They were white, they were gray, and they had the blue lines that went across like that. And I remember I used to wear those with shorts and a Seahawks jersey, and that was the shoe I had to get. And I remember I had them and I wore them so much.
I think Adidas is doing a new T-Mac shoe. I don't know if you saw that, but they're doing some boost version of it. You're gonna pick up those too?
I definitely will. T-Mac is a guy that definitely was one of the people that I admired growing up, watching him play. So I definitely want to get a few pairs of his stuff.
Hey, who else did you watch? Who were your main guys growing up?
Big Kobe, huge Gilbert Arenas fan. I went through all his sneakers. LeBron, KD, so all those guys. I've grown up wearing their shoes.
Was there anything you didn't get back then that you need to get now?
I didn't get. I know one shoe I wanted to get was. I actually ended up getting it, so that doesn't matter.
What was it? What was it?
It was a pair. I got Platinum Yeezys, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a shoe that I wanted for a while, and I ended up getting them my last year in college.
Would you? I mean, I know people have worn Yeezys on the court. Would you do that?
I don't know. Maybe for like a quarter or something.
Is there anything like, I don't know. I've watched like Thabo Cephalosha plays in like Air Max 90s.
Air Max 90s. I don't know how he does that.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's been doing that for years now too.
Yeah. I'd say that probably wouldn't make it out my feet on the court.
What's the
Off the court though? Yeah, I wear those all the time.
What's the most ridiculous thing you have worn on the court?
What did I wear? Just like you wore those. Probably I wore DB9s in a game in high school. Nornbecker 9s.
Oh, it had the gold, right?
The gold and then the black, like the laces and stuff. Yeah. Definitely see the change in technology from back then to now.
And those Foamposite ones. I mean, I know you wore those in a shoot. Did you wear those? Did you wear those on the court too?
I wore them in high school. Back when foams were like kind of like iffy, people didn't really mess with them, but I thought they were dope. And then I didn't actually get to wear them when I was at Arizona. I meant to wear them for a half, but I didn't end up getting to.
Yeah, because you must have seen like Mike Bibby and obviously like all that stuff.
I was definitely gonna get that tree reading because I know that's like there's an iconic picture in our tunnel of Mike Bibby wearing the Royal foams.
And Gilbert wore like crazy stuff in Arizona too. I don't know how much that like he wore all those cross trainers and.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is most of your stuff basketball, or do you expand beyond?
I expand the basketball to regular casual off-court stuff to everything. I'm a fan of sneakers in general.
Did you like
SBs? I need to get some lobsters and stuff, but I got some stuff.
I mean, and that's the thing, because you were getting sent stuff a lot, but you must be out buying stuff too. I mean, do you have like favorite shops that you would hit, or?
I did most of my stuff online with people that I knew and was connected with that had to be able to get ties to get stuff that I needed. But now that I've been in New York City, I've been checking out a few stores and going and see what they have.
Did you do like, did you ever buy stuff on eBay? Because I can only imagine.
I definitely did.
People being like, wait, I'm sending these to Allonzo
I was
shirt.
I was a big eBay. I had that a lot of times. I would do that stuff in college. Try to get a shoe, tell them I need it before this week, and I pay you extra to get it to me faster. And they'd be like, oh man, really? I just looked up who I'm sending the shoe to. Like, I'll get it out as fast as possible. Blah, blah, blah. Excited about getting it to me.
I'm saying I can see people watching the game on ESPN being like, he's wearing my shoes, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's happened a few times for sure.
What's the most you ever spent on something like non-high end, non-like?
Most I spent. I spent a high amount on a pair of Easy 350s.
And now I feel like it's a little easier. Now
It's a little easier to get stuff that I need.
Do you talk to guys on the team too? Like, if you wanted to get a pair of Adidas, would you just talk to like Kristaps?
Yeah, I haven't gone there that far. I haven't gone that far yet. I'm Rook, so I can't really be asking.
Yeah,
I'm doing the favors for that.
I was gonna say, did you have to go through all the rookie hazing stuff? Are you carrying like a pink backpack or whatever?
Nah, they don't make me do none of that. More like get the towels, get the food for the plane, make sure it's on time, make sure you get the orders correct. Passing out practice gear when you get to the hotel, those kind of things.
What's a usual thing? What's a usual food order? Who has the most ridiculous food order?
A really hard order.
Doing like substitutions and stuff?
Yeah, Trey Burke as well. Man, he like add Alfredo sauce to this, know this, substitute that.
You feel like it's the guys who probably had to do the most as a rookie who now are like passing
I'm not
that
sure.
on?
They just might have picky taste. That might be it.
But I mean, it's funny because the crazy thing looking back to that New York Times cover is like, you know, you look at that as sort of putting you on the national scene, but you already were. I mean, you were nationally ranked #1 as what, a 6th grader, and even before. I mean, do you even like remember a time playing basketball when you weren't on that like national level?
When I first started, I was 8. When it was just, you know, is when I truly discovered like I love the game. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Let me see how I can make that happen. And I took on that challenge every single day, and that was kind of when I decided to dedicate myself to the game.
Do you think having all those experiences younger made it easier to make the transition?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to go through a lot to be able to deal with spotlight and expectations at a young age. And then, so I wasn't really new to anything as I continued to grow up and go through different obstacles.
I mean, did you feel pressure where it's like, all right, I'm the #1 ranked kid in 6th grade. I guess I got to stay this in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, like all the way through?
Yeah, I think it was more of a, not pressure, but more of a pride thing. You want to continue to be the best at your craft and try to, you know, maintain where you're at. So I was always looking for things to try to motivate myself to get better and try to, you know, keep myself at the top with among the top players in the country.
I mean, even earlier than that with Kobe or whoever else, it's like, you know, so much pressure from the start. Did, you know, knowing someone like Brandon help things out? You know, was he able to like talk to you about things?
Yeah, I mean, I've been blessed to, you know, have lots of basketball people that I've been around that have been around the game for a while and that were, you know, older than me that, you know, I guess you could say mentors, but if I ever need anything or needed advice, they were great people that I could go to and they could give me understanding of different things.
Yeah, your phone must be crazy.
Yeah, it goes up.
I just meant the contact list.
Yeah, I got quite a few numbers.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about, you know, going back to that, like what you're wearing coming to games and stuff. Are you building your outfits from the sneakers up? Do you look at shoes first?
Yeah, or sometimes I doesn't really always go shoes. Sometimes there might be a shoe that I have that's in the closet. Like, man, I ain't wore these. I want to wear these today, and I'll put together an outfit just to wear those shoes. So it just depends.
I mean, I feel like at this point it's almost reached where it's like you got to put more into what you wear to the game than what you're going to wear in the game. Because at least in the game, it's like, all right, you know you're wearing a uniform.
Just wear your shoes. Yeah, to some degree. It all depends how good you want to look when you come to the arena.
And I was going to say, I mean, you got to be anonymous for like one whole game, and now, like, you know, after that.
Yeah, I'm one of the first guys that get to the arena though. So some days I go real casual.
Yeah, how early are you getting there? Is
I'm
that
usually at least 3 hours before I'm on the court.
Is that to go to like Cheesecake Factory?
This is
Like you should be there first, or is that just kind of how you?
That's
always
just kind of how I've always been. Just going through routine and being a creature of habit, and you know, that's what makes me feel comfortable. That's what makes me feel best and prepared. So I'm big on preparation.
Have you taken the subway yet?
I have not. That's one thing I haven't done.
Just don't do it. It's not worth it.
So some of the guys do it though. I told them I don't know how they do it, but.
I mean, what's it been like for you? Like, you had time, obviously, walking around Soho tonight. You know, do you feel like do you have a lot of people coming up sitting down?
I think the city has done an amazing job of embracing me, and you know, I'm proud to wear the New York Knicks colors, and hopefully I'm making them proud and continuing to do well. And you know, I just want to be a brother. It's a process, but I feel like we're headed in the right direction.
I mean, I feel like also like you're the perfect kind of player for New York, because it's like, I mean, besides the way you play, you're wearing Anthony Mason's number. You're coming in undrafted like John Starks. You know, it's like that's always been the hero here. I mean, What was the story behind 14 for you? Because you didn't wear 14 in college.
No, I didn't. There wasn't really no story behind it. It was the number that I wanted to wear. Happened to be Anthony Mason's number, RIP to him. But, you know, I'm wearing that number proud, and I want to continue to do well while wearing it.
I'm also curious, what was it like the first time you met Clyde Frazier?
He's an interesting guy. So it was a great honor, and you know, our first conversation was actually very short, but it was great to meet.
And I mean, you already had a nickname when you got here. You already had the ISO Zone nickname.
Yeah.
You know, do you expect to pick something else up? Do you like ISO
I don't
Zone?
know. Yeah, I like. I mean, that was kind of nickname that was given to me when I was early in high school. I played on the high school circuit, and I was one of the best scorers in the country, and I led the league I played in scoring per game. And then one of my teammates gave me a nickname, like, man, just call you ISOs though, because anytime we need a bucket, we could just give it to you, get out the way, and you make something happen. So and then it just kind of stuck, and then everybody started calling it to me, and then it kind of spread through to people and inside in the NBA, and you know, started like, what's up ISOs though, how you doing, like, what's up? So they just kind of ran with this. So I've let it go, and it's had a nice ring to it.
Is that what's going to be on the back of your jersey when they do like the
nickname
jerseys?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. That'd be dope.
I don't know what the other options would even be.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd just be Zoe, I guess.
What was it like stepping on that Knicks floor for the first time?
Man, I remember the first time was for open practice, and I remember just looking up and just, you know, seeing that I was in the garden, and it was like really an amazing thing, and I was so excited. And now that I get to play every single home game there, the energy in there is amazing. And it doesn't matter how you feel before coming in. You can be tired, drowsy, sick, don't feel well. As soon as you step on that floor and them lights is on.
Opponents love it, so.
I was gonna say no better place to stop, man, than praising New York, man, and saying it's the Mecca. I want to make sure we get to you guys, so we're gonna take a couple questions from you guys, a couple questions from the crowd. Yeah.
How you doing? So you got like a chip on your shoulder, undrafted and stuff. Like, I mean, confidence issues and stuff like that. So how do you approach something with major confidence like you do? Like, you seem like a chill guy, and then as soon as you get on the court, you're like an assassin. Yeah. So it's like, how do you approach everything with major confidence?
That definitely comes through my preparation of how it worked. And then obviously me being undrafted was in a weird situation. But that didn't take any confidence away from me or allow me to not believe in myself. That didn't change who I was as a basketball player. It just meant teams didn't pick me at the time. But I remember one I just had to go a different path. And I knew that the way I worked and the way I believed I had in myself, and I knew that the way my game would translate to the NBA, that as soon as I got there, no matter how I got there, that I'll be fine and I'll be good.
Appreciate it.
Oh.
Well, you know that Knicks fans are like really the hardest Knicks fans ever. Like, we go all out.
Yeah.
I want to know how you handle the pressure from us. I know some of us ain't nice.
I heard some things like I gotta pass the ball more, do some, I do it too much, stuff like that. But nah, you can't really, listen to those kind of negative comments and things like that. You gotta be thick-skinned, and you gotta be willing to embrace that too. Because if you're not doing well, it's a part of the game. They want to see you do well. They do that because they're passionate about the game, and they care. So, and I care as a basketball player, and we're trying to do good things. So, it's about learning how to embrace that part of it, and understand that comes with it. Not everybody's built for that, though. I am.
Right, thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
How's it going? So far, who's the toughest player you've played against?
Oh, that's tough. I've gotten to go up against a lot of guys now in these first 20-something games. I think head-to-head, I recently just saw Drew Holiday, and we were checking each other, and that's a guy that's really good. And he's probably, underrated to some degree, but from a defensive standpoint of him, he was hounding me. And offensively, he's very good. Some of the things he can do, handle the ball, shoot the ball, that was a guy that I was impressed with.
Thanks.
My career high, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
Fair enough. Who was the best player you played with at U of A?
Best player with DeAndre Ayton and Larry Markham. Good close tie. Those two. Those are also like two of my best friends too. Also, I lived with Larry, DeAndre. I hung with every single day. You know what I mean? So those two guys are probably the two best players I played with. Both ended up being #1 pick and number 8 pick, something like that. So.
You tell DeAndre you're taking his Rookie of the Year award?
I hope he does get it though. If it's not me or Kevin Knox.
What's up? Big game against Detroit, but what do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? In the next 5 years, I would like to see myself as being one of the best players in this league, that's young and up and coming. Hopefully an all-star by then. Hopefully a long ways to go. But I'm just starting my young career now, and I like the start that I'm off to, and I'm going to continue to improve and be true to my craft and try to perfect it.
Appreciate all the questions. First and foremost, thanks to these two guys for coming and giving us the time. Let's give a big round of applause. To us for always holding it down on the media side. It's always holding it down for New York on the court. Very quickly, 2 quick things. 15 people who bought stuff early, you know who they are. They're going to get autographs with Zoe. For everyone else, don't leave empty-handed. We're going to give 30% off to the entire store. And we didn't do no Black Friday sale. 30% talk tonight. I hope you enjoyed and appreciate y'all.
And so you stole my question.
I know. I was thinking that. No doubt, no doubt.
I didn't know. I was going to ask him who's the easiest person he scores.
Oh, the easiest, right?
What's up, good Jay? I was making time to show. Out there at the stand store, the nice show. Yeah, man. Shout out everybody in the chat. It was a cool interview, man. You know, talked about life as a sneakerhead, basically. Yeah. What up? Yo, what is Central? Oh, Central, what up? What's going on? Yeah, man.
Yo, Knicks fam, you already know what it is.
Corner in here.
Yo, if you got number 1 through 15, you can come to me.
Yeah, man. So
and I will walk you downstairs.
that was the event. Shout out everybody that tuned in. Yeah. AJ, I mean, he talked about sneakerhead life. Life as a Knicks so far. And yeah, man, it was a good interview.
Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, it was a good interview. It took away from more. So yeah, man. But yeah, that's what it is. Just gonna hang out a little bit. Yo, salute, man. Oh, that's my guy. What up? What up? What up? How you doing? You know that? Yeah, man. Yo. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So,
Love the podcast, man. Keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
These are the real fans when we turn it around.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
These are the real people.
Promote the sweatshirt, yo.
In my lifetime, man. You know what it is.
My lifetime sweatshirt, man. Will we get it in our lifetime?
I'm 41 years old, man.
Yeah.
It's time, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's time, man.
It is.
It's time. We gotta just keep with the same mindset that we doing right now. Young, not doing no. You know what I mean? So we just gotta know, and once we get into that point where we start doing good, like the ultimate goal is to actually win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not you know what I mean? To actually win. So that's why we gotta keep doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, I love what Fizzel's doing. You know what I'm saying? Some things, you can't agree with everything, but some things working itself out.
Yo, tell the people where to get the hoodies and the hats. Yo,
LifetimeTees.com, man.
Lifetime T?
LifetimeTees.com.
Okay. Lifetime T?
LifetimeTees.com.
Yeah.
Right here, LifetimeTees.com.
LifetimeTees.com, my man Craig, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Follow
man.
Instagram, Chuck217, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's just for the believers, man.
Of course,
It's for the believers, man. You know what I'm saying?
For the believers only. We ain't going nowhere, man.
When that parade hit,
We only want the
everybody
believers at the
in my
parade.
time,
We gonna double up
on the other ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because we know who the real fans are.
Fact. Yo, show them the card. They asking about it.
Yeah.
Yo, this is where you guys can get it, man. LifetimeTees.com.
Yo, let me show you the back.
All right, on the back.
This what it's all about.
All right. 69, 70, 72, 73 in my lifetime, man. That's it.
In my lifetime.
That's my guy Tuck, man.
That's what it's about,
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's what it's about, man.
Factual. Hey, yo, what up, man?
What up,
Go ahead, promote the show, man, like always, man.
You said promote the show? Oh, yeah.
Go ahead,
You know
promote
what
the
it
hat,
is.
man.
Nick of Time Show. Podcast just dropped on YouTube this morning. Finally got that up, so go ahead and listen to that. Yep. As always, with that Porzingis hat.
There you go.
Head to my the merch.
Yeah, man.
NickofTimeShow.com to get your Porzingis hat.
Yeah, man.
I got you, man.
Facts. Alright, hey, man. Yo, smash that thumbs up button for your boy. We out of here, man. I'm going home. I gotta get some sleep. Saturday.